Look something up.
Lights, camera, action!
Welcome to another episode of our Mickey Shaped Life. This one we're going to talk about a service we used while we were at Disney World that gave me and Ashley some time just to ourselves, and that would be Pixar Play Zone.
Yeah, so this is a new experience that you can do at Walt Disney World. In the past, they had the child care centers, which they had them at 3 resorts, and they were slightly cheaper than what we paid for the Pixar Play Zone, but they closed those down in August. So they announced that they were going to shut those down, which I was really upset about because I had been planning this trip in my head for over a year, and we had planned on utilizing one of those kids clubs at the resorts, and then they just said they're shutting it down, and the only option was going to be to do Kids Night Out, which Kids Night Out is a babysitting service. It's a third-party company, but it is what Disney recommends in place when they shut down the kids clubs. This is what they were suggesting. So it was, I don't even want to say it was endorsed by Disney, but it was what Disney was suggesting people use. So we have personally never paid a babysitter to watch our kids. It's just not something that we have felt really comfortable doing.
We've lived in a few places, so it's...
Yeah, we either just don't do anything, or we have family or close friends watch our kids. We just haven't gotten to the point where we feel comfortable hiring a babysitter. So I really did not feel comfortable having a stranger
come to our hotel
and then there wouldn't have been anything for the kids to do, and I definitely didn't feel comfortable having them taking them out, and it just was for us not a feasible option. And so I was really disappointed because the whole point of the trip was, yes, to spend time as a family celebrating our family that had been established 10 years when we got married, but it was also to celebrate us, and we wanted to have one night that we just had us.
Yeah.
So when Disney announced the Pixar Play Zone, I immediately booked it, didn't care about the cost, didn't care about anything. I was like, yes, we're going to do that.
Yeah. So they actually have it in the Contemporary. It's on the 4th.
Yes, it's on the 4th. I think it's called the Grand Concourse, where the Chef Mickey's is, and like all the shops and everything like that.
Yeah, it's on the
it's
north
right next
side. It's on the north side of the building.
Yeah, it's right next to the Fantasia gift shop.
Gift shop, yeah.
Yeah. So it's very, very convenient. I think a lot of people, like, when I have a client that says, I want a romantic night, I send them the Contemporary to go at California Grill. It's like my #1 recommendation for a romantic date night meal. There are, of course, other ones out there, but it's just like my #1 go-to. So I feel like that was a really good choice to put Pixar Play Zone in the Contemporary, because it gives parents that option of having a nice dinner. And then, of course, you're close to Magic Kingdom if you wanted to go to a park, and you're monorail right away from Epcot if you wanted to go to a different park.
So kind of the layout of it is you get 5 hours.
Well, you can the program doesn't start until 6, and then it ends at 10:15. But you can begin registration at 5, and you can pick them up until 10:30. So it's 5.5 hours.
Yeah, if you maximize it.
Entertainment part doesn't start until 6.
Yes. And the great part is they provide dinner, and they provide entertainment for the kids that whole time. So it's a play zone, so they have characters. So they have to meet, who do they get to meet?
So we'll show you. So the first thing that they got, so one thing we should say is that there was no photography or videoing allowed in the center. So I feel like they probably did that for security purposes. Like they didn't want other kids to be captured if their parents didn't approve of it or whatever. I don't know that, but I'm just guessing, like, why would they have that restriction? Which the one thing I feel like they could improve on would be, again, it was the same thing I had with Pirates League. I'm all about
capturing the moment.
Capturing memories, because especially we weren't there, so we didn't get to see what they did with the characters. I would have loved to have a PhotoPass photographer there taking pictures with the kids. They didn't have that option, and we weren't allowed to take pictures. We weren't even allowed to go in to the center. They have like a desk outside, and then that's as far as you can go. Yeah. And then at the very end, you could see the kids having the dance party with the Pixar, with the Incredibles. But by the time I got there, there were so many parents I couldn't even see anyway. So that was the only part that you could actually see what was going on. But the boys told us what they did. So the first thing they did was a race. So they had to like build a car, and it was like Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy or whatever. So they did that, and then they had dinner, and like when we dropped them off, we picked their dinner. We sat down with them and like read a menu and checked everything off. And they also got an entree, an appetizer, a dessert, and they also got a snack.
So that's awesome. Part of it, I mean, you don't have to worry about dinner for them. You just drop them and go.
Yeah. And then they also got to do a like Woody's Roundup kind of activity with Woody and Jessie. They got to do a Space Ranger training with Buzz Lightyear, and then they got to do the dance party with the Incredibles at the end. And I know that they had like tablets and toys, and it was very well staffed. There was a ton of cast members supervising the whole thing. And another thing we should say is, because I asked when I went to go pick the boys to have like literature and stuff, because there really wasn't that much information. When I booked it, there wasn't that much information. There's more information on the website now, but originally there wasn't much of anything. And I asked for some literature, and the cast member made sure to tell me, because I said I need this in case I had clients that want to book this, and she made sure to tell me that this is only temporary. It only goes through January, so this whole review might be pointless. And it could change if they do make it permanent.
Yeah.
But as I have kind of learned being a travel agent for Disney, that when there's tests, they do tests all the time. And depending on the success of those tests will depend on if they do it permanently. This place was packed. And she said that it gets booked. And it's very, very rarely do they take walk-ins because it's already booked. And so to me, and especially when there is no other options on property right now, it's either get a babysitter or do this. I find it highly unlikely that Disney will not extend this. They've already created the space. They've already converted it over into this kids club kind of experience. I would be shocked if they don't extend it past January. But just know that if you're watching this, it might not exist anymore if you're watching this after January.
But I have a feeling the way Disney is, even if they get rid of it, they'll do something at another resort slightly different, and they'll kind of fine-tune it. And
well, that's the other weird thing, is because they already have the kids clubs at the other resorts that they could have used to convert into this, and they didn't. They specifically made a brand new space in a resort that didn't previously have a kids club and made this whole experience. So it just, I think that they're going to keep it.
Maybe it's a beta test for the other ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So the cost was $65 a child, which, like we said, includes dinner, dessert, and a snack. And then it also includes, getting to meet all those characters. So I think that, and it gave us basically 5 hours, because I don't think we finished dropping them off until like 5:30, and then we did pick them up right at 10:15 because I didn't want to mess with like being late or whatever, because I think they said they were like going to charge us or something. And our dinner was kind of going long at California Grill, but it was invaluable to us to have that time. And
we were able to run over to Magic Kingdom real quick and ride a few rides and just enjoy spending time together, and then go back for our reservation California Grill. We saw the fireworks from the balcony out there at California Grill, and then had a very nice dinner. That's a nice restaurant. I like the restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, we had a 2-hour dinner. We never would have been able to enjoy a dinner that long with the boys. So, and another thing I think is awesome too is if you are like us and you're a couple that really enjoys Disney, can be difficult to enjoy Disney with another person who also loves Disney when you have kids, because they're not necessarily going to like everything. And we have had the opportunity to travel to Disney World twice by ourselves without the kids, and it's been amazing. So, and if you're like, you don't have that opportunity, but you would love to experience the Disney parks without your children, and you don't really have the opportunity to travel there for a whole vacation, this is a really good option to have 5 hours in the park that you can just experience that yourself. And you're not depriving your child either, because they're getting to have this awesome experience at the Pixar Play Zone.
Our kids wanted to go back. We could have dropped them off there every day
they
for
wanted
5
to go,
hours.
They wanted to go every night. It was awesome for them.
Yeah.
They had so much fun. They made friends. They got to interact with the characters. They got to do just fun stuff. And it's a nice, I wouldn't call it not stimulating, but it's a lot less stimulating than an evening in the parks. So it kind of gives them a little bit of a break from go of a Disney vacation as well.
Yeah.
So I think
Those stroller rides are hard.
well, you know, like going on the rides and stuff.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming for a child to do all that. So,
No, but I would,
especially being in the heat.
yeah, I would say we overwhelmingly recommend this if you just need it. I mean, just do it one night of your trip, and you will love it. Especially if you can book California Grill along with it. I mean, that's a good 1-2.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, and then at the end of the experience, and this is something that, since it is a test, I don't know for sure that this is something they would extend after the January, or if they would have it even, you know, every single night. But at the end, they got this little cardboard, I don't know, thing.
It's kind of almost like a certificate, but
Yeah, so it has all the different activities that they did, and then on the back it has the characters' signatures. So it's got Woody, Jessie, Mr. Incredible, Mrs. Incredible. I guess it doesn't have Buzz. That's weird. But either way, so, you know, if your kids are super into autographs, then they have this little keepsake, and they gave it to us in this really nice bag. It had like a
Disney's Contemporary Resort.
it had like a thing that said Pixar, just like a cardboard thing attached that said Pixar Play Zone, and on the inside we don't have them anymore because little kids, but they gave them stickers that represented every character that they did.
Yeah, it's not a cheap bag. It's kind of surprising.
No, it's really good quality. It's not like I don't even know. It's like a really thick material. I mean,
It's more of a fabric than a...
like a nylon, like the normal these kinds of bags are.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wasn't expecting that, so I thought, you know, that's
Something
nice.
extra.
They didn't have to do that, so yeah.
Yeah,
We
I
just-
think overall we would highly recommend it.
Yes, I mean it is pricey, especially we're getting up to 3 kids.
Yeah.
But just as a comparison, I did like a calculation. To do the kids' night out, it would have cost us $120 for the babysitting for 5 hours. Then we would have had to pay $10 on top of that for a transportation fee. And then if you keep them longer than 6 hours, you also have to pay for them to eat. And it's also more expensive if you go in like off hours. So
Yeah.
if you start after like 9 p.m. or something, it's more expensive. But just for like the time that we had, it would have cost us $130 to do the kids' night out, which was something that we just weren't even comfortable doing anyways.
Yeah.
As opposed to for our 3 kids to do the Pixar Play Zone, it was $195.
Yeah.
So for me, you know, that $65 was worth it.
Plus, it did include dinner, so
Yeah, so then
a
if you're-
Disney dinner for $20 is actually pretty good for kids compared to some of the other character meals.
Yeah, that's true. It's like you're gonna character meal and then all that other stuff on top of it. So it's something that if you have kids and you want a night off, I would highly recommend doing.
Let us know if you've tried anything that you really enjoyed, some of those odd services you don't necessarily hear a lot about. And definitely like, comment, and subscribe down below. And thank you and have a magical day. Bye!